Graven God Part 5. I think we've come full circle. We've come full circle from being deceived, from set by the sides of the tyranny of lies. Say, for instance, when I thought that the straw man was this or that, I went after it. And then when I thought the straw man was that, I stopped, I stepped back. When I thought the reptilian was involved, I stepped back. You know what I mean? Like, but the reptilians would obviously be a good plausibility, because if we think that they're just monsters, we won't go after these fucking dudes and kick ass or none of that shit. Which I'm not saying I'm gonna go kick somebody's ass. What I'm saying is that you might go kick somebody's ass if you found out they were just humans eating your kids. Like, you be fucking people up like mad than a motherfucker. But what I'm trying to say is also is that this entity, if you understand history and how we were conned, this entity has remained young for thousands of years. Let's take a look. Look at the eye. It's a youthful eye. Cannot be of a man. This is like the 13th council up here. These people are old motherfuckers that made it through all this fucking ritual shit and all this blood sacrifices and shit they had to do to get up here. These people are old. Look at this eye. It's young and youthful. It's the cherub. It's the cherub, the genius cherub. So now let's take a good look at that and how that correlates with the Treaty of Paris and how Woodrow Wilson enacted the Federal Reserve notes literally 1,000 years later without skipping a beat. Who the fuck stayed there on top of the pyramid underneath the 13th council as the 13th council lives and dies? They get old, remember? As they get old and die the fuck off. George Bush dies the fuck off, and then somebody else is coming. If somebody else dies, somebody else is coming after that. So understand understand this, man. Understand what this is. Inuit o Seoiptis Novis Ordo Seclorum, to smile upon the undertakings of the New World Order. That's what that shit means. The Great Seal. You push this, you're pushing this. And if you work this and you do this 9-to-5 stuff, you're creating a paper trail. If you got a bank account with this stuff in it, you're creating your own personal deficit. The national deficit is bullshit. All these big emperors and countries know that there's no money. You're creating your own personal deficit with your bank account. Shouldn't have a bank account, buddy, because you have a debt account. That means that everything you have in this account is owned with interest. The collapse of the dollar cannot be returned. You cannot return the dollar after it collapses, and your ass is grass after that. So you're gonna be owned by them. They're gonna want their money and their credits back. If you don't know how to talk to them, hey motherfucker, you're at my door talking about I owe you this, but you took my gold. But you gave me gold in the first place because Lucifer wanted me to have the gold, to think that the gold had value and to play the game. But see, you fucked yourself because you took my gold away from me. See that? So just understand what you're dealing with, what you're looking at, what this is. And furthermore, the Treaty of Paris. Let's talk about that. Treaty of Paris basically proves that the Revolutionary Wars and Civil Wars were hoaxes, false flags. And we basically won the war, but then we turned around and got excited and didn't look into the details of the contract with the king. The king got everything, and we were fucking stupid for not realizing that back when it happened. So we were all excited about winning and didn't look at the details of what happened when they negotiated the deal with the fucking banks and shit, and the royal crowns and shit. So that was some bullshit. That was a hoax. The Revolutionary War is a hoax. The Treaty of Paris proves that we were shammed, and they gave everything to the king in Paris. And during the Treaty of Paris, all England and the crown all got all the fucking straw mans. But how does it tie into the Federal Reserve note? Well, Woodrow Wilson, 1,000 years later, enacts Federal Reserve notes to finish off the straw man scam. Imagine that. Imagine that, though. How in the fuck can Lucifer not exist if 1,000 years goes by and he's still running the same hustle with different people, man? Give me a fucking break, bro. Stay awake.